Hi everyone. Ever since our world has come out of the pandemic, we have been questioning ourselves what is the meaning of our lives. And we also are looking at work differently. We want meaningful work. We want to contribute. We want to make an impact. Not that we were not thinking of that before the pandemic, but the pandemic has definitely slowed us down and made us question everything that we do on a daily basis. So employers are taking note, and here is a good framework of what a good, meaningful job means going forward. And this is a great article by World Economic Forum, and I just want to go through the highlights of what they are recommending employers do if they want to retain great employees. So this is great news for us employees because we have a great workplace to get engaged with. We can make a meaningful, impactful contribution, and we can actually live our purpose through our work if the employers are choosing to hear what we want. So let's look at what they're talking about. So good quality, what does it mean? Good quality work means promotes well-being, builds resilience, and reduces the different kinds of inequality. I am in the education field and I'm working on education equity because there are a lot of children who are extremely privileged and there are some kids who don't have any resources. But we have to bring them to the same level playing field if we have to ensure that they can all contribute towards our collective future. So if you see, poor access to good work correlates with different work transitions and mental health challenges. Children, teens, and even us adults are struggling through finding the new normal as we get back into connection with our friends, strangers, and co-workers at work and at home. So we just have to make sure that our transition is done smoothly and employers are listening to whether we want hybrid work, whether we want work from home, or we just want to get back to the office full time. So the case for a sharper focus on creating good work in the future in response to new and emerging trends has never been stronger. And thanks to the pandemic, there are some good things that come out of the pandemic. I never knew that I would say that, but this is what has come out. There is an alliance that has come up with understanding what good work means, and they are trying to engage employers to follow through some of these amazing framework. So the Center for New Economy and Society has come up with a framework that every employer can follow. So let's look at what they are talking about. The job creation policies must include all these in their framework. Aim for good jobs. How should they be? Work that promotes dignity, autonomy, and equality. Work that has fair pay and conditions. Work where people are properly supported to develop their talents and have a sense of community, not just employment. Because we are already seeing that a lot of inequalities in wages, earnings, and other fundamental aspects of job quality have been existing. And slowly, as we are coming out of the pandemic, we are not going to be okay with this kind of status quo going forward. That is what employees are looking at, and employers are taking note. So if you go down a little bit, you can understand that companies are likely to be judged according to how they treat their workers through the crisis. So a lot of people had a chance to work from home, those who were really privileged enough to be able to do so. But now going back to work full time might be a problem. So how do you handle your employees during this kind of a transitional crisis when they are expected to come back to work full time? So this is how the employers are going to be judged based on how they react. So there is the second thing that I wanted to talk about was they say that artificial intelligence is being adopted by firms at an increasing, although uneven pace with mixed results. What they are saying is when thinking about AI, it is easy to forget that it is developed from global data and labor supply chain markets. So the problem is data is generated by machines because it is looking at the different kinds of global data and labor supply chain markets and everything. But it is deeply impacting us humans and the nature and quality of our work. So that is something that employers have to remember. The third thing is procurement in both public and private sectors is increasingly recognized as a powerful tool to support policy goals and targets beyond ensuring short-term value for money. So this is also something that we have to remember, that how well your supply chains are organized, how you are able to predict how the market is going to go, what the customer wants. Staying deeply engaged with what the customer wants is the key to your ultimate success. Let's look at the paper that they have been talking about in this framework. Employers and workers are seeking a new normal, okay, because a lot of disruptions over the past few years, and now it is an opportunity to develop a new vision of the future of work. So again, what has come out of their framework is 5 objectives and associated goals: promote fair pay and social justice, provide flexibility and protection, deliver on health and well-being, drive diversity, equity and inclusion, and foster employability and learning culture. Of course, this is the bargain on the employer side, and we employees also have to create a framework for ourselves to try to understand what it means to have a meaningful workspace, what it means to contribute to our society at large, and how can we make an impact in this short life that we have. So it's not just an onus on the employer to make us happy. It also is on us as employees to make the workplace a great place to thrive and do great things. Thank you.